Okay, I am calling the meeting to order. Welcome, everybody. Mayor Dalton is not able to join us. I do want to welcome Jonathan to, I think this is your first time meeting, so welcome. Yes. Okay, a few things before we get to the business part. We have an owl situation. So we have to share this owl with, the village, CBA, for 7 PM. So at 6:45, we're going to have to unclick it and it's gotta go upstairs. And then I'm gonna look at what the prices are tomorrow to get another one, so we have to. So just wanna let everybody know that Jenny will be taking the owl up there.
Just
Okay?
get it over.
Okay. It's okay. Before we get to the business, I'd also like to introduce Katie Berry. Katie is the new, representative for Canton for the, St. Lawrence County Chamber, so welcome, Katie. Just asked her to be here to introduce herself and tell us how's it going so far.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's great. I started at the beginning of January, and one of the first initiatives that I've been working on as the PN community coordinator is Winter Fest. So hopefully we can see some of that around. We're working to get it better promoted. That'll be February 23rd through March 3rd. There's gonna be a lot of events and a lot of shopping deals and discounts. We're even having a raffle, so it should be really fun. More details are on visitstlc.com. And then while I'm here, I also wanted to talk about Totality, the great clips. So if you know of anything going on in Canton or in St. Lawrence County around the eclipse, feel free to let me know or let anybody at the chamber know, because we really want to promote St. Lawrence County to the eclipse and hopefully get people coming here to view the eclipse since we're in the line of Totality. Yeah, I'm having a great time and I'm so happy to meet everyone.
Well, welcome. Can we just go around the table and introduce ourselves really quick?
Sure. Beth Larry, village trustee.
Jonathan Hickey, village trustee.
Village trustee.
Hi Katie, we've met a few times, Anna's.
Barry and Ashley, town supervisor.
Bob Cinnamon with the town. John Tyner, town council.
Randy Brown.
Super sweet.
Heidi Smith, town clerk.
Okay, well, we appreciate you coming and now we have a name and face. Yes. All right, and you're more than welcome to stay for the whole meeting, but
You don't have.
yeah, we are. I always extend the invitation. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Katie. Take care. Okay, the first item under old business is building committee update. There are 3 of the 4 of us are here, so, Anna or John, would you like to start? And then I can pipe in, or on the building committee?
No pressure.
The building committee, I don't even know how many times we've met now, but we've been meeting. One of the things that we have done is take a look at the original plans for the amount of storage that would be required for the new building. And done our best to see where we might be able to reduce that, and actually we think we can reduce it by quite a lot. We have met with the clerks from both the town and the village, as well as the clerks for the court. And we understand that there is some digitizing in process and much more that could be done, which would allow us to really significantly reduce the number of files that are in paper form that are downstairs, if anybody would like to look at that. And that going forward, because of the way, sort of digitization has come along, much more can be stored digitally, and therefore space requirements will be much less than, for storage, will be much less than was originally, I think, laid out. So that is one area that we would really be able to save square footage and therefore save money. So there's that piece. I think the other piece that we've been doing is that we have been working with a group of Clarkson students in Eric Backus's, various classes, at Clarkson. Last semester, the students, were in, groups and basically challenged with, you know, coming up with a plan, a basic, layout and plan with some, you know, suggestions for us. We reviewed those suggestions, we gave them feedback. It was, you know, a great experience. This semester, it's some of the same students and some different students are in a capstone class. So they're graduating seniors and they're in a capstone class. And this smaller group is one group that is gonna work specifically on the sort of next steps in refining that plan and presenting us with new ideas. So certainly, even if they hit upon something that just seemed perfect, you know, we can't take those and run with the, you know, those plans and run with them, but it's an opportunity to, get ideas. You know, I don't know, y'all, but I'm neither an architect nor an engineer, so saying like, how do we come up with a building, you know, it's good to have, you know, more ideas. And also it's great to be able to not only provide them with a real life, exercise in terms of what their, future jobs may be, but also to, you know, make them familiar with local government and what civic engagement might look like. So how did I do? Add away, John.
Did well. Our next meeting, I believe, is this coming Monday, correct?
Yep.
And we have a representative from Dank coming in. And we're gonna try and pick their brain to see if they can help us, find some funding sources for this.
So I do have to go share if anyone's interested. They do a lot of work in other communities with this type of stuff. So, hey, that's where we're at. Okay,
Can I just reiterate that I love the fact that we are partnering with Clarkson the students opportunity? Just a great way to capitalize on resources. In that, for-
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Next,
just a question. When the original plans that we got, the $25 million figure come out, we all sat here and said, can't afford it, can't afford it. Has there been any discussion at all as to what we can't afford? What can we afford? And I mean, you know, what's the figure? Is there a figure? Has anybody done any of the, any of the analysis to find out if, you know, here's a figure that maybe we can get to, and if it's, and then can we get what we need for this type of one? I don't know if that approach makes any sense or not, but if I was, as a business person, I'd like to go that way.
we have talked some preliminary numbers, but, you know, we felt that we had to get the space down and then, reach out to possibly back to CA to give us some numbers.
But that is part of what the Clarkson students have been asked about as well.
I think the question of what can we afford is a bit of a tricky one too, you know.
Well, but
In terms
wasn't it
of-
tricky? It wasn't tricky when the $25 million figure come out. We just said, can't afford it. So, you know, where,
We stopped saying that.
you know, it is, you know, is it 10 million? Can the village afford 5? Can we afford, you know, what's the payment schedule gonna be? How long are we gonna be talking about it? I think that.
But I think it's also tied to what kind of grant funding. Somebody saying from wherever else.
Yeah.
Somebody should be able to
Right,
run
right.
some numbers with amortization schedules and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I do think, one of the things that's impacting us on the village side is our equalization rate and where it's going. That's really gonna impact what we can borrow. So I think those are definitely discussions we need to be having. It also, as well as sort of how can we create, what is a building that is more reasonable than 25 million look like? Also, what is it that we will be able to borrow?
Okay. The next item is the Styles Ave strategic site plan update. Lee wasn't able to be here, but committee members want to give a short where we're at with the strategic plan and how we're doing with that. There was a kickoff meeting, you understand?
We had a kickoff meeting, I was thinking we might be here. She sent us all an email, asking for a bunch of information that Barton and Judas was looking for. You must have got that email.
Yep.
And then, there's some, did you talk to me about that?
We've emailed back and forth, what we need is a copy of the actual town barn engineered drawings. We have a set, and that's the only set we have, and the firm that engineered the building in the seventies, probably late sixties, is out of business. So I think today finally found that possibly Real Property may be able to copy them for us, because they're an actual set of blueprints. So it's not like firing up Xerox and copying. So, but, I believe that we can get, Real Property to help us with that, so.
Has Barton and Judas been on site? Again, since
No,
the
not since
meeting
the
that we
kickoff.
had upstairs.
They went out that day, walked everything, drove around the property, took
And
measurements, things of that nature.
weather conditions can affect movement. In that regard.
And Jim, do you remember way back when we started out this venture with that property? Didn't we have some testing done? Or, did we have all states do it? I think, is that part of some of the stuff that Barnum?
Lee was looking, yeah, they wanted all the environmentals, all the studies that were done.
But, and all states did. Environmental, because we wouldn't buy it.
Right.
We wouldn't go ahead with the purchase without the environmental, so they were done. They gotta be somewhere.
Yeah. I think probably in the file that I gave, that they filed, we'll look for those as well. So. Okay. Thank you for that update. Comprehensive plan oversight update. I did, email Jackie, and this is what she has to say. Okay.
Poor Jackie.
Poor Jackie. So there was a kickoff meeting, on November 28th, and part of that, the next step was they were going to, send department heads additional information and on what department head recommendations are as far as priorities, for 2024 and 2025. And they're gonna put together a survey and send that out within the next couple of weeks. And then, evaluate, the implementation table and update the status of recommendations based upon our inputs. Jackie is looking to schedule a board meeting, a 14 meeting, in March. And that's, the mayor and Jim and I, just to keep the process going. And talk about the survey. So you got, okay.
So perhaps that survey already went out when, so it could be that survey is March.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen
I
it?
don't think it's fine yet. Right, but they could, it's a lot of emails every day. So, okay, she said, within the next couple of weeks, it's already okay? All right, so that's a good thing. All right, under new business, waterfront advisory committee, this is, Mayor Dalton's item, he asked for this to be put on the agenda. So I'm not sure what it is, but, I pulled out, when I was mayor, I was on the advisory, and then, when I became town supervisor, I was also, so way back in 18 and 19, these were the members, myself, Bill Lamarche, he was on the town board, Jill Savage, from the village, Tom, Landon, and, Louis Tremaine, the Grass River Heritage. Those were the members of it. So it's my understanding of the village.
And is this
LWR.
it's for the LWRP.
So we have to reactivate that committee.
So can I give you the names that I have on campus since I'm the town rep for the waterfront?
Yeah,
So I've got Tom, we've already mentioned him, Lee, Jill, Keith Zimmerman.
we'll keep this on.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I don't know who JPM 1118 is. I'm not sure because there's no name attached to it, so I don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is. And then Dennis is the last name. DANIS.
Janus, John
John
Janus.
Davis.
John, okay, so he's,
Okay.
So,
that's the current, and Klaus was on.
right. So I think, that, because we were awarded the LWRP, it seems like the Waterfront Advisory Committee is an appropriate body to, serve as the stakeholder group for that process. So I think, we need to, formalize who is on there and probably add some folks. I'm not sure, it doesn't look like there's any village, representation from the board currently, from that list, you're right, so I think that's part of what we need to do, but given that we don't have Lee, we don't know how many people, if there are any particular requirements. Perhaps the way to go forward would be to have the ED team, which is meeting very soon sometime, maybe early, sort of brainstorm a list of, we want it to be representative, so, a list of sort of categories that, and then see who we have and go from there.
When's the last time that there was a meeting?
Back in, it was probably last year.
Yeah, because didn't Tom
It
go on
was-
sabbatical and he's the chair?
And I think part of the reason it was reconstituted at that time was specifically for this grant's purpose as well,
Because we had,
so, because you had to write a
we
letter,
had the budget to.
yeah.
Right.
So I think, we have a good start, we just need to sort of.
So what I'll
build
do
it
is
out.
I'll follow this.
Great, so
And that way you have at least the starting point.
okay,
So just to add that, after one of our previous ED meetings, I was tasked by that committee to go talk to them, the waterfront committee. And I got hold of Tom, he's, aware that we got the LWRP and things have to be done.
great,
So I did that, was it either after last month's meeting or whatever. That was
okay.
one of the tasks that seems to fall on my plate, so I did it.
We'll make sure we write that up.
So he's aware of it, he understands the committee has holes, needs to fill it, and I think when I spoke with him, I left it that Lee's gonna be his contact person,
Great,
because she's the,
I mean, that makes sense, so good, so we can do, sort of make some suggestions and kind of, and then maybe at our individual meetings, the next round, sort of formalize that, because I do think we need to get going on that.
they're aware of it, well, he's aware of it, and he's ready to go, as, contact Lee, so.
Okay, so I'll get that on our Indeed team, agenda.
You have.
Thank you. I figured that.
Okay, everybody good with that? All right. The next item is warming center discussion. I put this on the agenda out of concern. With climate change happening, and why don't we have a warming center? We have all these weather-related issues, we've got people in need, and I really feel that if the Herman Fire Department can be a warming center for their community, why aren't we doing anything? And so I wanted to bring this issue to the two boards to get your feelings about it. The mayor's not here. I have had a conversation with him and we discussed where, how, and how to staff it and that type of thing. And I said, well, let's start the conversation. Housing is an issue. Poverty is a severe issue in our town, even though you might not see it. We have a major drug trafficking and drug usage problem. And people's needs, the mental health issues, I just feel that somehow we need to be more supportive in that area. should, the catastrophe happen or, people are leaving. Next go down, or when the house is flooded. So I would like to get some thoughts on the table and see what your opinions are.
So you're talking about not like an emergency shelter situation. But a more permanent.
Yeah, I'm talking locally, actually, Martha, for both situations. You know.
Well, right, if you have
Yeah.
it, we're.
Yeah. You know, we had a nice announcement by the governor today that we have been designated as a pro-housing community. And you know, the mayor was already down there, he attended the meeting, I was online with it, watching it, and with that designation, there's $650 million available. I don't know what that includes, if it includes development for special housing, if it includes upgrades for, you know, the high rises, I don't know what that means yet. But we still have more people who live.
So I
So-
think that, I think to have a comprehensive conversation. I think we should do some research to see how other communities are handling the situation, or multiple situations, and not a big urban community, because they've got way more resources and accessibility to potentially know where the problems are, right, or how we can be helpful. But I think we should be identifying rural areas who are successfully doing this, to see if there's a model out there, and if there's not, then we gotta start from scratch and figure out and identify the issues, you identified some, and some of those are really big issues, right? I think disaster relief, we've got some of that covered through our county EMS systems, right? But if we want to add into a plan and meet with them to make sure that, you know, and I know that PDs are in the loop, the fire department's in the loop. But if we want to more. Right, right. So in terms of disaster, I'm less concerned about that than some of the other things. But I think that we need to look at the models and maybe do some research. If we can throw out some ideas, but that'll look sick.
And I think the county just got some type of large grant for housing. I think I read that in the paper, so maybe a conversation with them as well.
Well, it would also make sense, I think, to sort of think about what resources already exist in the community, who are our other, you know, other stakeholder groups,
Church and community.
church and community. You know, because this strikes me as something that would not be a solely public endeavor, but we can really, you know, partner with a lot of other folks who, I don't know, you know, have resources and that could be used to help address this kind of I mean,
That we would, that would be, going to be fast forward to get it.
I mean, I think research needs to be done, and if that's the, I mean, if we're gonna do it, sure. But
But
I
it's an economic development type of thing too, and I know the steering committee, we've all been talking about housing for the last couple of years. That's a priority, you know, should it be discussed there too, because, you know, the consortium members are there, right, the investors are there. I'm not sure.
I mean, certainly if that were something that the consortium were to, I think that would be a topic for the consortium level to set a charge to, with the steering committee to take on.
Big vacant building across from BOCES, that's everything.
Well, and, you know, I won't speak with the mayor, but what he did say is, you know, it would be hard for the fire department to open up if there's a problem, because, you know, you have the fighters, volunteers, and they need space to, you know, to work in case of.
Right, if there's an
I don't think-
emergency, it
yeah,
can't also be
yeah.
being a warming
Yeah,
center.
yeah,
it's not.
The school, I mean,
Right,
when
yeah.
the ice storm happened, SUNY Canton didn't school for
They have a plan already.
Right.
To create emergency shelters,
And-
but that's a different thing than
Exactly.
saying for the whole winter, we're gonna, well, the whole year, we're gonna provide a house, you know, a place for.
People
And again, I think
in the classrooms and their services in the gym.
When the ice storm happened, St. Lawrence's field house was all of the
Linemen.
linemen.
You know, they,
And we
they've had,
volunteered to stay there and be a resource to make sure they have what they need. Like,
they have to 2 hours just.
And when
I
there was
mean-
a problem at the high rise,
They went to
I was out at the hotel, helping people get started, you know,
Right.
so.
But that's a county.
But that's, and it's a disaster, back to your point, there are plans for disasters, right? I think what you're talking about is sort of the increasing more chronic problem of homelessness and,
Right.
you know, that, you know, right.
And very interesting as well, it really is unfortunately a larger population.
Yes.
There is,
You don't see them.
and you, that's where you find, and how do you, and social services is another place that we would.
social services, and, I mean, the school counselors, so.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had people sleeping under the bridge. We've had people, being found in the woods, camping up. Like, set up as if there's people in
Their
their
entryway.
We have people that are sleeping in our entryway. So,
We hear, I hear you, and I think that it's important, but I think that without doing research,
We don't need to read that, we don't, right, I don't, we should be smart.
I like Anna's idea of, we need to have a consortium meeting, we haven't had one in a year, and ask them, and then see if they want to direct the ED steering committee to move further on this. I'm gonna do more research myself,
sure,
because
it's important.
it is, yeah, so. Okay, anything else on the warming center, Randy? Anything else? Okay,
I might bring up one with you, President.
oh, okay, great. All right, thank you, everybody, for that. The shared services agreements. So, the town committee is Randy and I, and then Barbara, you're on it, and then, I don't know.
It was clubs.
So is it gonna be Jonathan now? Okay, so in reviewing the agreement, we have, an agreement for recreation, municipal building, economic development, assessor, town court, and historian. And in looking at these, in one, there's language that the committee needs to meet in March, and then in some, it doesn't say March, but it does say town and village. Representatives will review these, so it's time to review. We'll schedule a meeting, Randy.
Yeah.
And Jonathan and Barbara, so shall I send out an email and we can get that started?
Yeah.
Just, it doesn't take too long. There's just some language that needs to be changed regarding, one particular agreement. And maybe additional language added to another agreement, just so they're all uniform. So, Barbara, do you have those on your computer? Yeah. this-
I should do all that time, yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. All right. Any questions on the shared services agreement? Okay, good. Our ethics committee. So, I was thinking about the ethics committee because we sent out, our disclosure statement to everybody. We need to, there's a few people that need to get those back. So I was thinking about the committee, and so in looking at what we did, this is what we did. Way back in January of 2019, an ethics task force was created. As a result, a joint code of ethics law was passed by the two boards in early 2020. And then a 5-member ethics board was created. That was the structure. We have 5 members. 2 members were appointed by the town, 2 members were appointed by the village, 1 member was agreed upon by both bodies. So on November 9th of 2020, the ethics board was appointed. This was 3 years ago. So the town board, we appointed Kimber Petrie and Barbara Heller, representing the town. The village board appointed Ryan Ames and Katie Halloran Murphy. And then both boards appointed Becky, don't know how you say her last name, Hitch, Hietsch. So it's been 3 years. There's been no activity, so that's kind of a good, thing, right? But I really feel that we need to reach out to these members and A, ask if you're still interested, and B, if not, then we need to, appoint to continue. I don't know that we made it a 3-year.
I was gonna say,
appointment.
well, that's what I
It was an open-ended. I didn't know that that's in the law that we have.
That we don't have terms?
I don't, I'll have to read the law one more time. I don't know that we said.
Right. Sure. we do.
Open term.
Yeah, right. Or-
Now, wait a minute. I don't think you had to.
We really did that for.
Do you not remember doing this, Beth?
I do remember doing this. Excellent.
I would never agree to something that I didn't,
That you didn't know. You
I think you voted yes on this.
Yeah,
I
that was
tell
a
ya.
good plan.
So maybe everybody should read the law. Because, what we do is when we send out, are you listening? When we send out the disclosure form, we also send out the law too, just to, keep everybody's.
Yeah, we
So, did any town board members, review the law again? Or about the supervisor, like, 5 members? Oh, I stand corrected. We'll fill 2-year terms. So we don't have a word
You
then.
don't have to go to bed.
So we need to
We need to.
reconstitute.
Okay,
Okay.
so, my recommendation is that, the mayor and I, it was a joint letter from the mayor and I that we sent. If we, follow up with these members and say, hey, would you still like to serve? And if not, then. Is everybody in agreement with doing that?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody good?
Yes. All agree.
That was easy. Okay. Our next meeting is, April 24th. Salt, April 24th. Wow.
Start of summer. Start of summer.
So, we need a motion to adjourn from the village. Oh, Toby, there's no public comment. There's not. This is just business stuff. Unless the two boards want to agree to let Toby speak.
Here?
Yes.
Sure,
Yes.
sure.
Town board,
Yes.
are you in
Oh,
agreement?
yeah, yeah.
All right,
Absolutely. Always done.
all right.
I'd like to give you a couple of pieces of information, both of which are
Okay,
good news.
Oh, good news. Do you have $25 million?
No.
You're writing a very big check.
No, but you have a capital resource corporation, which may provide some resource for funding the new, whatever this building is going to be called. So I just want to bring to your attention that you have a device in the in the town, which means it can provide funding to plans anywhere in the town or village. And we stand ready to engage with you before perhaps you little bank and tell. And the second one is good news that I know repeatedly I have mentioned in part that when the new building, the town, whatever you're gonna call it, the salt storage barn town, the Stiles Avenue Empire, there needs to be some consideration of the access to roads, the development of Thompson Court, and the potential development of a road that connects Stiles Avenue all the way out to the, well, preferably to 310, but at least to the Fresh Chocolate Plaza. That's been in the trail plan for quite some time, as has a development idea for Thompson Court. You don't have to build them right now, but at least think broadly and not just on the confines of the territory that is salt storage. So my two hats.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Toby.
that was great information, we appreciate it.
Yeah. Canton Capital Resource Corporation. It's been in existence since they built the dorm, but here in Canton, so
The president of the board is here.
that's right. And that is a non-term limit.
Just like, it's the rest of your life.
I have.
We will not be accepted.
Okay, so, we don't need to go into executive session, so we have to do, motion to adjourn separately,
Yep.
so.
Can I get a
So
motion?
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, is there a motion to adjourn on our side?
So-
So moved by Bob, is there a second?
Second.
By Randy, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, everybody, thank you, look at this. And
I know, I just